welcoming them here today.
Yeah.
I'd also like to welcome, because we do have quite a few people in the President's Reserve, Joe Flanagan and Jocelyn McConnell, and their role will become more obvious once we get into the special interest matters, who work with Women's Health Tasmania. They have facilitated the Knit Your Bits initiative, and that's the subject of the Honourable Member for Nelson's special interest. Also, Amy Rose Rees, Amy Reid and Anna Ritchie, who are the artists involved in the program, and I'm sure members will join me in welcoming you to the Legislative Council, and we're looking forward to the special interest matter from the Honourable Member for Nelson, who will take the lectern now.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I rise to celebrate an incredible, unique art project and exhibition undertaken by Women's Health Tasmania, known as Knit Your Bits. As many members here may know, Women's Health Tasmania is a statewide health promotion service which is run by women for women, with a focus on empowering women to be informed and active decision makers in their own health and well-being. Mr. President, I could speak at length about the diverse programs, skilled staff and valuable work of Women's Health Tasmania, but my focus today is something they have undertaken which is a little bit out of the ordinary and somewhat provocatively titled the project Knit Your Bits. Earlier this month I had the pleasure of attending the opening of the Knit Your Bits Hobart exhibition. This was the 6th and final iteration of the art exhibition. It was first launched in Ross on International Women's Day in March and has since travelled to exhibit in 6 locations across the full length of our state, from King Island in the north to Cygnet in the south. Mr. President, I find the origin story of this initiative somewhat amusing, and I offer it here too for others to see whether it might tickle your fancy as well. Apparently, after discovering that the notable Mona artwork, the Wall of Vulvas, was in fact made by men, the Women's Health Tasmania staff asked themselves, if a woman had made this, would she have made it like that? And to which they answered, no, she would have knitted her bits. Mr. President, this comical exchange led to the Women's Health Tasmania crew to consider just how the diversity of the female body could be creatively expressed by women through arts and craft. From there, Women's Health Tas put out the call for women to knit their bits, and to kick things off held a series of craft workshops right around the state, working with local artists, crafters and community services. And to be honest, what came next, Mr. President, was nothing short of inspiring. The women gathered not just to make craft objects with their knitting, crocheting, felting, sewing and embroidery. They made art that literally embodied the stories of their lives. They were creating bits that told the stories of their fears, their triumphs, their strengths, their sadnesses, their complexity and their joy. And in doing so, they also shared a space together where they could talk openly and safely about their experiences as women, including their health and well-being. The powerful nature of this creative effort was clear not only in the resulting display of over 80 pieces of art, but in the way that the artists and the staff involved spoke about their experience participating in the program. Participants shared touching remarks such as, women are very good at ignoring the things that are challenging and just ploughing on, and so having something like this makes you sit down and talk about it. And another one, we chose as a group to knit a big mouth, to speak up and be loud. Sharing our stories gave us an anchor to better understand what is happening to us. And a final one, just like our external bits, we all look different internally too. Mr. President, I would like to give special acknowledgement to everybody who worked tirelessly to bring about the success of this initiative. I particularly congratulate those who joined us here today, Joe Flanagan, the CEO of Women's Health Tasmania, Jocelyn, and Amy and Anna, who participated in the art projects. Beyond those with us today, though, there are a large group of other fantastic artists, volunteers and staff from Women's Health Tas who helped make it a success. The Knit Your Bits initiative was also supported by many of our female parliamentarians, you'd be happy to hear, Mr President, both from this place and the other place. Many collectively donated together $1,000, which makes up the People's Prize, in fact. This prize will be awarded to the artwork from Knit Your Bits, voted as most favourite by those who visited the exhibitions around the state. And although I must say I found it virtually impossible to choose my favourite artwork from amongst the myriad of breasts, uteruses, mouths, brains, vulvas, ears, hearts and many more. Mr President, everybody should feel comfortable, proud and indeed celebratory of their body. Everybody should be able to find support and connection when they need it. It's amazing to see how Knit Your Bits progressed from a shared joke to an ambitious idea and culminated in a joyous endeavour that has been able to connect and empower women right across Tasmania. I look forward to future iterations of Knit Your Bits, or indeed perhaps whatever new creative project might spring forth from another shared joke amongst the Women's Health Tasmania team. Mr President, let me conclude by mentioning that Knit Your Bits is showing until the 27th of August at the Moona Arts Centre. If you haven't already paid it a visit, there's still time to pop in and cast your vote for the People's Prize. I highly recommend getting along to see this thought-provoking, humorous and highly moving exhibition.
Yeah.